Yuuta Iridatsu is
Hey yo, I got a quick question for y'all. Are you broke? Are you struggling? You don't even gotta answer that.
I already know the answer.
Well, you ain't gotta worry no more, brother. Cause I got something that can alleviate some of that brokenness. Cause I'm doing my first ever giveaway for this channel.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The rules are simple. All you gotta do is like, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment, "I'm done," once you're finished.
Come on, man. That's too easy.
It really is, especially since my channel is so small. You really do have a very good chance of winning this. There's no point in not entering, bro. The winner will be chosen randomly and announced in the next video. The reward for the winner would be a $25 Amazon gift card. Hey man, sounds like a free 25 to me. I ain't gonna lie. Plus I'll be doing more giveaways with bigger prizes in the future, so subscribe if you want to take part in that, you feel me? And that's all I gotta say, so narrator, you can get back to it.
Yuuta Iridatsu is one of the passengers when a bus is hijacked in the middle of the day. A woman in a cloak on a motorcycle chased the bus faster than the police. Amidst the chaos, one of the passengers, a woman named Chichibu Rabura, is secretly checking into the bus. Another mysterious person is broadcasting the events live. The biker gets out of her orange motorcycle to jump on the bus. It is codenamed Strange Juice. The steering wheel sits idle while Strange Juice fights off the kidnappers single-handedly. Yuuta tries to get to the wheel but falls unconscious before he can get there. So Strange Juice orders Chichibu to get behind the wheel and stop the bus. However, the brakes do not work. Strange Juice communicates with a woman with hacking skills to help her stop the bus. The bus stops on the side of the bridge and almost falls into the water before coming to a stop. Fortunately, all passengers are safe and sound. But just when Strange Juice thought she'd knocked out all the kidnappers, the mastermind suddenly shows up behind her and points a gun at her back. Chichibu tries to defend her but gets hurt by the man. The mastermind is about to fire the weapon at Strange Juice when Yuuta regains consciousness. He accidentally sees Chichibu's underwear and suddenly seizes power. It's as if he goes in a Super Saiyan-like form when he sees underwear. He then pushes the mastermind off the bus and falls into the water. As Yuuta is drowning, two girls suddenly appear and pull him out. When he wakes up, Strange Juice is next to him. The wind blows over the girl's skirt, exposing her underwear and causing Yuuta to lose consciousness again. Then suddenly, a beam of yellow light descends from the sky on him until his spirit leaves his body. That night he awoke to find himself back in the Korai House apartment, where he lives. He was even more surprised by Chiranosuke, the talking cat spirit. It turns out that Yuuta has also become a wandering spirit. Chiranosuke showed him a live video from his room of his body moving as usual. As a spirit, Yuuta can wander around and pass through walls or anything but his own room. This has to do with talismans placed around the room to keep away spirits. Chiranosuke tells Yuuta that maybe it was the person who possessed him, but Yuuta doesn't know who could be. Chiranosuke says his body is possessed by another person, suggesting that the incident after the bus hijacking was no accident. The cat spirit tells him about the Nandala Gandala, an ancient tome sacred book containing a secret ritual to reclaim a possessed body. And it is in one of the rooms of the Korai House apartment. When Chiranosuke vanishes, Yuuta proceeds to enter each room. He enters Ito Hikiotani's room first, but as soon as he unintentionally spots her undressed, he leaves to protect her privacy. Then he goes into a different room, where a different female is residing and once again is exposed to underwear. When he sees girls' private parts twice in a row, he develops a nosebleed. This also causes a series of disasters to occur until the entire Earth is destroyed. The next thing he knows, he's floating above the Earth with Chiranosuke, staring down at the devastated Earth, which takes his breath away. Chiranosuke forgets to warn him that if he gets turned on and loses consciousness, an asteroid will strike the Earth, destroying humanity as a whole. Then Yuuta goes through some sort of time travel and returns to the exact moment he enters Ito's room. He immediately avoids Ito and transfers to Mikatan Narugino's room this time. Mikatan is searching for a book, so Yuuta wonders if it's the Nandala Gandala. When Mikatan looks under the table, he does the same. They're so close, it's a good thing she can't see him. He recalls the first time they met in the apartment. 9 months ago, Yuuta was flustered when he ran into Mikatan on her first day at the Korai House apartment. Mikatan is a member of the idol group I Sees May, and Meika Daihatsu, the landlady, introduces them. A knock on the door brings Yuta's thoughts back to the present. When Mikatan opens it, Chichibu Rabura, who also lives in the house, greets her and returns the book Meika borrowed from her. Mikatan, however, is dissatisfied because it's not the book she expected. Chichibu then suggests that Meika may have accidentally mixed up the books. As soon as Yuuta hears that, he goes to Meika's room and finds a book under the table. But when he is unable to pick it up or hold anything, he becomes frustrated. Chiranosuke reappears, telling Yuuta that it's because his ghost skill level is insufficient. The ghost skill level determines a spirit's power, and with his current skill level, Yuuta can only move the pencil. Yuuta puts his strength to the test by moving the roll of thread on top of the table. Meika notices the thread rolling down the floor and picks it up, discovering the book beneath. When Meika opens the book to reveal it's a photo album of her childhood, Yuuta is extremely disappointed suddenly. There's a report on TV about a hostage-taking incident in a movie theater perpetrated by a group called Kyume. This is also the group behind the bus hijacking. Meika becomes terrified when she hears a song that happens to be an emergency siren. She rushes into Mikatan's room only to discover her singing karaoke. To have a private conversation with Mikatan, Meika tells Chichibu a lie that her pet has escaped and she must leave the room right away. When Chichibu leaves, Meika urges Mikatan to hurry because there is an emergency. As Yuuta watches them, Mikatan abruptly removes her clothes, and before Yuuta can turn away, he sees her undies. He panics but convinces himself that he will not look at it again. He is shocked to see Mikatan transform into strange juice. There is a hidden door in Mikatan's room that the girls can use to access a hideout where various colored motorbikes are parked. Meika gives her a handmade charm that she knitted before she departs. The day after Yuuta learned the truth, Meika enters Chichibu's room to demand the rent but discovers that she is already intoxicated. Chichibu is a fake exorcist who is upset because one of her clients found out who she really was and insulted her. Chichibu goes on a tirade about how all the other women in her family have supernatural abilities, but she doesn't even think ghosts exist. To mess with her, Meika pretends to see a ghost and points in the direction of Yuuta. When Ito, the tenant upstairs, screams, Meika rushes to her room, concerned, but Ito refuses to open the door, claiming she was only scratching her dry skin. Meika is standing by the door when she hears another thud, which adds to her concern. However, the landlady is forced to let it go. Meanwhile, Yuuta considers time traveling to the bus scene, but the cat spirit once again informs him that it is not possible with his current ghost skill level. They then observe Yuta's body unwrapping a package. Chiranosuke claims that whoever is in possession of his body is undoubtedly a spirit. This makes Yuuta decide to concentrate on finding the Nandala Gandala to get his old body back. Later, Yuuta joins Chichibu, who is looking at her phone and worrying about her upcoming date because the guy has a favorable impression of her occupation, and now she is hesitant to meet him. Concerned about his friend, Yuuta recalls Chichibu drinking after being rejected by a man. Chichibu and Yuta's sister are friends, and Chichibu used to vent her frustrations to her before his sister decided to go to the United States. Back in the present, Mikatan pays a visit to Chichibu to deliver an apple pie but is surprised to find her lying on the floor. For a split second, she believed something had happened to her. Chichibu stands up to greet her when the Strange Juice interview appears on TV. Mikatan is so agitated that she immediately turns it off. It confuses Chichibu, so Mikatan lies that she thought Chichibu wasn't watching the TV and then cleans up the empty bottles around the room to change the subject. Mikatan accidentally grabs Chichibu's pet turtle while picking up trash on the floor, causing her to panic and flip the table. Chichibu immediately catches it. Chichibu collapses on the floor as Mikatan flees. To his horror, Yuuta notices the turtle crawling beneath Chichibu's skirt. The spirit flees before he can cause any more destruction. When Chichibu has sobered down, Meika returns wearing a pigeon headdress to show her a pretty weird dance in the hopes of cheering her up. On the contrary, it irritates Chichibu and causes them to argue. So Meika removes the headdress and storms out of the room. But then Yuuta notices Chichibu doing the same strange dance Meika just did. She then tries to summon a ghost by moving the vase when the cat spirit appears unexpectedly. The cat spirit prompts Yuuta to respond, claiming that the cinnamon particles scattered throughout the room have the strange effect of enhancing ghost powers. Just as Chichibu is about to give up in frustration, Yuuta manages to not only move but also break the vase, surprising them both. Meanwhile, Mikatan forces her way into Ito's room by offering her apple pie. Ito expects Mikatan to leave immediately after giving her the pie. Instead, the girl stays and asks her to share the food. Because Ito appears eager for her to leave, Mikatan asks if she has anything she doesn't want her to see. Ito is taken aback and firmly denies it. Mikatan is on her way to the kitchen to get forks when she hears a scream. Ito says it was her when she turns around. Ito never leaves her room. Because of the sudden screams, Mikatan, who is worried, advises her to get some sun or she will become strange emotionally and mentally. When Mikatan says that, Ito eats a raw salmon, scratches her back against the wall, and brushes her hair all at once. Oh, dear, is she really going insane? Mikatan is perplexed, so she seeks the assistance of Meika and Chichibu. When a baby bear unexpectedly emerges from behind Ito, the two girls are also perplexed by Ito's actions. It turns out that Ito's bizarre antics are intended to divert their attention from the bear's noises. It is right that bears are not permitted inside the home. Since, hello? Bears? Ito wanted to keep it a secret from them. Ito begs Meika not to call animal control to retrieve it. Chichibu and Mikatan feel bad for Ito and assist in persuading Meika that they should look into the situation first because it's unlikely that someone would just leave a bear in the middle of the city. Thankfully, Meika concurs, but just until the end of the year. She will let them know if they are unable to find anything, she will report it. Later, Mikatan discovers Meika sitting by herself on the rooftop. Yuuta is also present. Since they have no idea why Ito stopped attending school, the girls make up theories. When Yuuta hears that, he thinks back to when he first started playing video games with Ito. She started skipping classes and hasn't left her room since. Ito shares abruptly one day that the school abandoned her. In the days that followed, the Kyumei group's video demanding that the government explain the circumstances surrounding the alleged New Year's Eve asteroid collision with the Earth spread. The group asserts that the international group's statement that the likelihood of a direct impact is highly unlikely is false. As Yuuta and Chiranosuke watch the news about the video, the reporter announces that the group's leader recently passed away. Yuuta hears this and believes the leader is the one who is currently inside his body. Then, as Yuuta is watching over Ito in her room, Mikatan storms in while carrying a Christmas tree. Ito's room will be the location of the girls' Christmas Eve party, which they hope will motivate Ito to socialize outside once more. Mikatan is shocked when Ito asks her if they are acquainted and then suddenly, and unexpectedly plays a video of Strange Juice fighting on the bus. She makes up the fact that Strange Juice is her friend in order to conceal her true identity. She meets Ito in her room while dressed as Strange Juice. In order to persuade her friend, Strange Juice pretends to use the restroom without locking the door. Yuuta checks her out because she's taking so long, but when he discovers that she's changing, he becomes agitated. Yuuta observes her donning the Two-Maker combat uniform, Meika's most recent high-tech camouflage design. When Mikatan turns invisible, she carefully leaves the restroom and then goes behind Ito as Mikatan. She pretended to be going to sleep before emerging from the restroom as Strange Juice. Even though Ito appears to be already convinced, they hear Chichibu screaming just as she is about to ask for advice. They all investigate the situation and discover Chichibu being held hostage by a man in a mask. The man desires Ito's bear cub for himself. Strange Juice struggles against him because he is too powerful for her. The bear makes an attempt to attack the man as well but is hurt in the process. Thankfully, Chichibu throws cinnamon into the air, which enables Yuuta to strike the man. But when the bear goes after the man once more, it is captured. The masked man successfully captures the bear, but as he attempts to flee the house, a man in a hero costume stops him. The man introduces himself as Kenji Miyazawa, the super helper man of justice. But let's be frank about this, Kenji appears less heroic and more bizarre. Kenji is about to punch the intruder, but the adversary is stronger than him. Kenji oddly requests 20 seconds from the intruder. Kenji flashes to the house in those 20 seconds, and when he returns from the house, he has already developed super strength. He defeats the foe and rescues the bear. Unaware of the absence of her mask, Strange Juice unexpectedly exposes who she really is. She reveals to Ito and Chichibu that Strange Juice is actually their friend, which surprises them. Mikatan sobs and rushes to Meika as soon as she realizes her mask is missing. After the incident, Yuta realizes that the mark on the intruder's hand resembles the Kyume Group logo. He also remembers that when Kenji was helping Meika, it was revealed that she was a robot, and Kenji knew about it. Meanwhile, Yuta sneaks into Ito's room and analyzes her computer. Yuta is shocked to see a video listing the names of this year's victims, which included Ito's name. Yuta is unsure of its significance. Chichibu and Ito, on the other hand, believe Meika is pregnant after overhearing Meika and Mikatan talking. They storm into Meika's home as a result, only to learn who she is. Chichibu falls unconscious as a result. Can't blame her, who wouldn't pass out if they learned that two of their friends aren't who they claim to be. Meika later reveals that she received the house as an inheritance from a certain Professor Daihatsu Tenga, who passed away 8 years prior. He was a well-known genius inventor who created numerous innovations, among them Meika. Yes, folks, Meika is a robot that her grandfather built. The plot becomes more complex, and the thrills keep coming.